Good afternoon, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Daily Live. It is Tuesday, the 26th of August. The Tuesday after Everton have won a Premier League game, John. And Everton have signed a right winger. A right winger is in the house. I still like another one, but a right winger is in the house. What we've needed all summer.
Who knew the season started in August? Hey?
We've won a game. And we've got a right winger in, John.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's not better Tuesdays. There isn't better, and it's sunny as well. What a great sign.
It was.
Happy with Tyler Dibling, or what are your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts when I was looking at all the in the nose on social media saying blah, 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 this, that about what the value of the deal was, it was like deja vu from me and you last week. And therefore, I think I've tweeted it. I think the recruitment team held their nerve and got the deal that we wanted.
Fair play.
Which I think they've done really well. If it is what we're led to believe, the 35 mil plus 5, clearly that's a big step down from what Southampton wanted.
That's a massive step down from the 100 million
from
they wanted last season.
Their counter offer wasn't it? Was like 40 plus 5. And remember, we chatted, seems an eternity ago, it was probably a week and a day ago or something, about, with the 3 levers, that they had to trade something if they wanted a big sell-on. And it looks like they got 20%, which is, again, what we sort of said. And therefore, they had to come off the guarantee a little bit, and that's what they've done, by the sounds of it. And if that's the case, well done to the recruitment team, because they literally held their nerve, right? And, that's what we said in the MTAG article as well, walk the talk of what you've already agreed internally about how far you will and won't go. And in the end, they've closed it out. So great news. And listening to the lad, he's literally buzzing, isn't he, that he's joined this wonderful football club of ours. So
yeah, he seemed very, very pleased. Obviously, it's been going on. I mean, we first got this information in America, didn't we? When we were over there.
Yeah.
And it's bounced about a little bit. I think Everton were very... They've obviously played it really well, because what they've done was they never ever walked away from it.
Nope.
They just left the offer sitting on the table.
Very powerful thing to do that, by the way.
Which is fine. And Southampton have had to bend, which they've done. And obviously, I think they've probably had a little bit of pressure from the manager as well to say, we need recruitments. What's happening? A player that wants to join another football club, why are we keeping him here if we can reinvest this money before time runs out? And Everton have done well. Everton have actually looked at other options. Should we have moved earlier for someone else? Well, possibly. Had they gone and got back, I'd still, full disclosure, I'd still go and get Backward or Fofana. I would, because I think you need many of these options. But Everton have, like I said last week, if Everton have decided he's fits the profile, he's who they want, then they can Nick Hammond can get a pat on the back, and the recruitment team can go, that's the player we went all in on and we got him. You can't argue with that, really. We had to ride it out. I think for fans, we'd have liked this team in place for sort of Leeds or whatever, but that's the way it is. We said it. I said last week, it's when you step back from it, the football club will look at September the 1st, won't they? We said this last week. Angus Kinnear said it. Whether we're all happy with, that's when you evaluate it when it's shut. We'd all like other things in place, but this summer was never going to be simple, was it? Because of just so much stuff to do.
Yeah.
We were going to have to trade a little bit, and sometimes we're seeing it with, say, like Liverpool on Isaac. Whether that happens, we don't know. We've seen it with Spurs. They've had 2 or 3 lined up. The rumbling on, it's not happened. So even some of the most powerful club, but I've put Spurs in there, I don't know, Liverpool obviously, and Arsenal had to do it with Gyökeres, it went back and forward. Even with those kind of clubs who've got Champions League to offer and have got money, sometimes those deals just drag on, don't they? But Everton have obviously decided Tyler Dibling was the one, and they've got the man.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we talked here about trusting the decisions you made when you were on the beach and it was all calm, and if it is 35 plus 5 with 20%, you know, if Southampton want a backstory that's somewhere, they can convince people it's 50-ish, right? Because you know, there's a line of sight there that would make it look like 50. But as soon as they came off their number, we joked, didn't they? Well, that was what I was prepared to pay a few weeks ago. It's changed now, and clearly there was a meeting of, you know, preferred outcomes. We knew from the way they were behaving they wanted to sell. And perhaps trying to play a bit of hardballs cost them a few pence. But at the end of the day, everyone's happy. We got what we wanted. Their fans had got to the point, presumably, of, well, we all know he's going. Well, don't leave us so late that we can't get replacements. And therefore, it was perhaps always likely, stroke inevitable, the last weekend before the final Monday to Friday of deadline approaching was always going to be when it was twist or stick.
And I think the lad deserves a huge amount of credit as well. He's a young lad, and he's still gone into work.
Yeah,
he's not spat the dummy. Apparently Southampton made the decision to move him out of the squad.
Oh, for the first game,
for the first one, while it all settled down. And then he come back in, and he's worked hard. Apparently, he still kept his head down, but he has told them he wanted to join Everton, and he's obviously added a little bit of pressure that has made them come to the decision that it's probably best to let this transfer go through as well for all parties. So, I just wanted to address something someone asking me, because I've seen this a couple of times, and I don't know whether it's tongue in cheek, Sam, or whether you're just asking the question, but I've seen this a couple of times with certain things when people say, who's going to play though with all these players?
What a problem, eh?
That is the problem you dream of. You dream of having two in each position. Look at Everton. Everton in the summer had 4 centre-backs when Michael Keane re-signed, and a lot of people were fuming that Michael Keane has re-signed and this, that and the other. He was absolutely brilliant on Sunday, really by the way. But very quickly, we were down to having no left-back. And one of our centre-backs were gone, that other centre-back plays right. It can change like that. You can have all these options, and the next one you haven't got any. Everton, we only have to go back to sort of earlier last season, sort of after Christmas. We have 4 strikers, and we had 1 for 3 months because Dominic Calvert-Lewin got injured, Schmidt was still injured, Breuer was injured. It can change like that, you know, and you look and go, the way I look at it, that's a problem every manager wants. It's a problem that the players have to deal with, not us.
Totally.
Shouldn't be worried about people. Tyler Dibling's 19. So he's coming in.
He'll be up and down, won't he?
Exactly. He's got to develop the stuff he's got to do. He's got to learn to work a little bit harder off the ball. He's going to have to do that if he wants to be a top player anyway. He'll have moments when he's exceptional. There'll be moments when he doesn't have a good game. That's life. We have to have these options. But if David Moyes said, I'm playing them all, then you could have Keane and Dewsbury Hall further back. He said himself, your box-to-box midfield player. You could have Jack Grealish as a 10, or Illiman and Jai in a 10. And then whoever doesn't play there plays on the left, and Tyler Dibling plays on the right.
Got Charlie in there,
You know, you've got Alka. So you've got to have these options. I don't know what will happen. There's murmurings about Dwight McNeil leaving. A couple of clubs sniffing around him. If that was the case, then that's why I'm saying Everton may well then end up trying to get another winger in, because obviously you'd be losing Dwight. If Dwight stays, then you've got McNeil who can play on the left or less so on the right, but he's good in the 10 with that left foot. So you're giving yourself lots of options. And if we do that, we give ourselves a chance of winning a lot of football games. So I don't worry about who will play and who won't play.
It's difficult for Dwight, isn't it? I think, because he got used to, particularly under Dyche, and he's, he was injured for some of the time under Moyes. But I guess he sees himself as a starter. But the way we're making the squad deeper, and he's not a starter really, is he? Anymore here. So he has to think, do I want to be in the Premier League playing with a team that's on the up? Hopefully we are. Or do I want to play every week? And what does that mean? I mean, there's clubs in the Premier League who we do a great job for. And clearly anyone who wants to get promoted out of the Championship, he'd be awesome for them. So it's a hard one. It might be him who ultimately ends up deciding, notwithstanding
of course,
bids have to come in that we're prepared to accept, and they have to come in good time for us to be able to replace, don't they? But we're in that one in, one out stage now, aren't we? To a degree, we don't want to lose.
I think he still wants a centre midfield player.
Yeah.
He wants a full back.
Sorry, I meant if people are leaving.
Oh, but this is before we let anyone go.
Absolutely.
I think he wants a centre mid. He wants a full back.
Yeah.
He's looking at another centre forward.
We need another striker. For sure.
So there's 3. That's if everyone stays. He wants another 3. If Dwight McNeil
you have to get
was
another
to
one.
go, then he'd have to bring another one in because Dwight McNeil can do 3 positions. Really, he can play off the right if you need him to. He's not ideal there, of course he isn't. He can play off the left where he's comfortable, and he can play behind the striker where he's really comfortable with that left foot. So Everton might look and go, if he goes and if he wants it, till I'm saying he does want to leave, or Everton will sell him. But if that situation arose, then we'd have to look to replace him as well, because you're losing a lad who can do 2 or 3 jobs for you and things like that.
We said all the ills that we had can't be sorted in one window.
No.
We're making a good fist of it, but it's still going to be incomplete, isn't it? And it's got to be our future reality, hasn't it? That we get to a spot, which we're nearly there, where you have to fight for a starting place. Then the next level is you have to fight to get on the bench.
Look at Harrison Armstrong, right? He got on for 5 minutes in injury time. I don't know whether he touched the ball, but he's on the pitch. He looks like a really good talent for Everton. He looks like physically, he's the size, and he gets about the pitch. He could do really well for us. But his development is probably going to be away from Everton this year.
It has to be, because he's not going to get game time.
Otherwise, he's going to be reduced.
Get game time, but not enough. Yeah.
Right, so I think he'll move. Right, and then that means you're a midfield player lighter, but that's about development with him coming back and being in our team. So you understand that one, and that's why someone Moyes will want someone to come in there.
Schmitty's in the same boat, isn't he?
Yusuf Schmitty's another one. He's not going to, and I know some people have made their mind up on him. Fine, but I think Everton are looking, thinking,
place him in the right.
If we get him out on games, we can make an informed decision on him in 6, 8, 10 months. On whether we think he's ever going to do it for us, ever going to be good enough. So they're 2 really interesting loans who I think can be part of Everton's squad going forward.
I agree.
You'll have to, Harrison Armstrong more so, because he's going to, Yusuf would have to go and produce. But they're players with a development in mind. The lads who would be good subs for us to have, but we can't keep them just for the sake of it. So the manager's getting to the stage where he wants another 3 in, that boosts his squad. And then it'll only be, any additionals will be if we get offers and we think we can't refuse this. I mean, Nathan Patterson, by all accounts, could be off to Italy. off to Spain. I know there's an inquiry from Italy and there's 2 from France over him. He could end up going abroad. Spain would be good, I think, for him. Warmer climate, play games. Sevilla are a really good club. He could end up over there.
But we're talking there in summary, though, aren't we, of we want 2 or 3 net to come in, but 3 or 4 might then go out.
Yeah, if you're including Schmitty and Armstrong,
and Patterson, and potentially Dwight.
Well, McNeil might have put the talk again this morning about Beto. So it's like, well, hang on, how do you replace him? So there will be names thrown out that aren't really Irabuna.
I think Dwight's...
Irabuna keeps getting linked with Sheffield United on loan. You go, hang on, he's in our team.
I don't see that one. And
he's done okay on Sunday. He has some really good moments. Other times, got to pick his head up a little bit. But he's got all the attributes. It's just settling him down. And I know the manager, because this is leading all back to players who start might have to become comfortable with being sub and working back in.
Yeah.
But we know the manager's been quite vocal about Idrissa Gana Gueye. Absolutely brilliant again on Sunday. The age of him, still running around that pitch on a warm day, winning all sorts of tackles. But we've also got to have someone who can replace Idrissa. He's 35. So
we need someone from December onwards.
And of course, he's going the AFCON for, we were talking the other day, could miss about 8 games in all competitions. So,
distance,
you might go, well, James Garner can do that. But James Garner's not just going to sit on the bench till January. You know what I mean? So Moyes wants someone else to come in. Yeah. So it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all want the days where we ain't got a clue starting. And when you see it, you don't go, what's he do? You sort of go, okay. And look at our bench, it's really, because that's what good teams have. And even teams who are bouncing around, challenging for Europe sometimes have players like that. And you look and you go, look at all their subs. And ours have made up with lads who've never really played.
Yeah.
So it's it's a nice position to be in, turning it over. There's room for improvements. I think the recruitment team have done a good job this window. I've said it before. They had to get the right side in, otherwise we would have been fuming. They've gone and done
What's
that.
What's the sweet pale face? Huh?
You said it many times.
You'd have fumed for everybody.
Listen, everyone I speak to, I've yet to hear anyone say to me we didn't need a right winger.
I told you before, my first reaction to Basil be happy was he wants two.
Yeah,
you know.
But what I mean is they've addressed a few issues. Now some of them might be development play, like Asnu. And it was a real shame that he got injured in the warm-up on Sunday, because he would have probably got on the last few minutes. I don't know what I really hope he's fit for tomorrow, because that was an opportunity for him to play as well, but he may not be. We'll have to wait and see. So listen, it's all looking good. It's all looking good. If they can get what they want in these next few days, it'll be a tremendous window for us, in terms of we had a lot of change in there. A lot of change within the club. A lot of players going out, needing to replace. Now, okay, not every one of them. We said last week, a couple of development players and a couple of goalies brings them numbers right back down to reality, doesn't it? So that's why I think the next week, the next 6 days are going to be key to what they get in. It would have been an amazing window had we got the starters in before the ball was kicked. Yeah. But it doesn't mean when the window shuts on September the 1st that it still can't have been an excellent window for Everton.
I think absolutely, and I think there'll be a wash up there as well, just like there's a wash up after every game. But, you know, for the off-field stuff, they'll have a wash up, won't they, about what could we have done better? And it'd be really fab if the only thing they can really think of, could we have done what we did sooner? You know, and how can we address that? And we've probably still got headroom to play with as well. I think what Al Myers was saying last night, I think he spent 10 minutes adding the numbers up, and we've spent about 120, and we got that on the BWB. How much are we going to spend, didn't we? So it might go up to 150-ish, as we were alluding to. And obviously the PSR number would be maybe 50 of that. Yeah. So happy days at the moment.
Well, Banastic on a super chat put, this time last year we lost 4-0 to Spurs. Neil Maupay, stupid posts, and Dykes leading us. How times change up the Toffees. I found it interesting, the Tyler Dibling thing, and with the post that had like hope above him. You know, when you look at them and going, there has been a bit of a seat. Well, there has been a big seat change, hasn't there? In terms of the type of player as well. There's got to be that mix, and we know the manager, he pointed it out enough to us, what area he wanted to look at as well as that, because he wants results now. But it is really positive getting people of Asnu. Tyler Dibling's obviously ahead of him given the games he's played and stuff, but Tieno Barry, who I thought was excellent on Sunday. Is there lots he can do better? Absolutely there is, but I thought he was excellent. And Thierry Henry, nice one, mate. No, he asked me could he have what I broke down for Barry, and then he used it last night on Sky. So no, but again, he was talking about all the stuff we were saying on the final, where his movement, his touch, his front post run, which means it frees and Jai up at the back post. Really good performance. He's got to put other bits in. Of course he's got to get himself better runs in the box. Yeah. He's got to make sure his touch is tight, but he gives us something totally different. We've got to get used to the fact he wants to come in and then spin in behind. When you've got people, we've got another ball carrier now in Dibling. We've Shaw and Jai playing on the right.
Grealish bloke's all right on the ball, isn't he?
Jack Grealish, what did you make of his display?
I thought used quality. He looks so calm, like all good players. He has time on the ball. He's clearly comfortable in his own control. So if someone comes clattering up the back, he doesn't panic. He almost just stands there and goes, where shall I put this? You know? And, you know, we're a bit more game time, not from his perspective, but from our players about what he can do. We'll score more goals as well as a consequence, because we could have had extra goals, couldn't we? In this game just gone by, it's just, you know, players cutting out balls that were not where he was putting it, and, you know, stuff like that. I just thought he was tremendous. He really was, and he's loving it as well, isn't he? His post-match on the field interview, him and Ndai are going to be best buddies, and they're going to kick up a storm, aren't they? Which is really cool.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's just Watching the quality, watching them take the ball without even thinking about it.
Just give it to me and I'll,
Oh, but that kind of player, it does make you realise that we've been dumbed down.
The gap.
We've been dumbed down to have lads who will give everything, and that's great, but we have been dumbed down as a fan base in terms of what's quality. Being able to view quality, not understanding what it is, but having it in front of our eyes to go to the game and watch. And I think everyone appreciated that. We've seen it with Njai, don't get me wrong, last season. That's why he was getting everyone on the edge of the seat. Then you put Grealish in there, and then you've got someone calm on the ball like Dewsbury Hall, who's everywhere, and then all of a sudden people like Garner are stepping up. Who was fantastic. James Garner, who, even though I thought Minter was excellent for them, I thought James Garner had a good game as well.
He added getting forward, as we know.
That's right. We started using his left foot, which is really good. But those players like Jack Grealish, you give him the ball, buys your time, lets people get a breather, keeps the ball away from them. And you need that against really good teams, like top teams. You need someone who can keep the ball for you, because otherwise it's relentless. It's only one game, but I looked at it and thought, imagine what he's like when he's 100% fit.
That was what I said.
If they're never 100, they say, don't they? They're never 100% fit. But if he could get to 90% fit, imagine the player you've got.
I doubt many of them, maybe it's just me, but I doubt many thought he basically finished the game.
Yeah, I was doubtful.
And he come off just to get his own applause, I think, and well deserved they were, right? So that'll have done him the world of good. Literally, what was it, 89 minutes or something?
Yeah.
So they're in his legs now, which is where the fitness comes from.
Ped is in the studio, so let me bring him in, just because I just want to. I watched a bit of his live last night, and he addressed it last night, but I want him to sort of address it again now. Just deep the point of where people worry about where everyone's gonna play, Ped. I mean, it's a lovely conundrum to have, isn't it, as a manager?
Yeah, stop being silly, people. No, everyone's got to have. Every squad has 20 players. We don't, and it's about time we did. And people have got to get used to people vying for positions, and the players have got to get used to it, and a lot of them are. Jack Grealish has just spent 2 years sitting on a bench. So everyone's got to get used to it, and if they don't like it, then they can go. And if they want to be part of something, or try and be part of something successful, then they'll fight for the place, because that's the only way it'll happen. But like you said, and I mentioned this last night, you're only an injury away from having one of these players in your team, and it starts all over again. So it really does annoy me when I hear people say, "Oh, where's he going to play? Where are they going to play?" Do Liverpool fans worry about where their players play? Do they worry? Do Arsenal worry? Do Chelsea? I mean, bloody hell, Chelsea. The Chelsea fans even care who plays? Just get on with it. Just whoever if Njai gets forced out the team one week or whoever. But let's not kid ourselves. We still need loads of quality players. We still need, we still need centre midfielder. We still need a right back. We still need a quality left back that can get up the pitch. So let's not kid ourselves. This is exactly what we want. That you go up a level and then you try and go up another level and then try and get another. That's the only way you're going to get to the top, because we're still miles away from it. So it's a great problem to have. I just don't understand anyone who thinks like that.
And it's the other thing as well is that Jack Grealish is going to need a break, isn't he? He's not, as Pez just said, he's not played for consistently now for 2 years. He talked about losing the love of it and all that, hinted at it at City. There'll be times when he'll be sub, because you need to just look after him as well. That's fine.
The manager said last week he doesn't have two games in a week in his legs yet.
So it's a case of, there might be times when Njai plays on the left and Dibling's on the right and Grealish is sub or whatever, and that's a squad. That's
Absolutely.
what a squad is.
And we've talked about it for years. The clubs with the bigger squads come on strong early in the new year, don't they?
Yeah.
And this is why you often see the usual suspects, like a Palace, who start really strong and then end up in the regular
12.
place. Yeah. Or promoted teams who start like a steam train, right? But as soon as squad depth comes into it, we all flake away one at a time, don't we? And we've been one of the early flakers.
We have.
Up to the point when we then have to
Go son, yeah.
hand fighting to avoid being in the bottom. But you've just got to get squad depth,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we are doing.
We're getting there. But Ped's absolutely right. There'll be guys who are starters for most of this season who next season might have that realisation they're not starters no more because you have gone up the next level.
Your idea when you're building the team is your starters become subs.
Absolutely.
And your subs then
Disappear.
move on, and then when the starters are no longer getting on the bench because other ones have come in and replaced them, that's when you know your level's going up.
Absolutely.
That's
you
how
end
you have to
up
do it.
with academy players really have to be exceptional to even get near the bench. Yeah.
Drive standards up, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
Nihal on the super chat says, Baz, it was great to meet you and your family on the Chicago River Cruise. My brother and I had a great time. It was lovely to meet you, mate. That balmy night in Chicago on the river. Well, it wasn't balmy, it was absolutely fucking roasting, wasn't it? Let's be honest. But no, it was really good to meet you, mate. I had a really nice chat with you, and I hope you enjoyed Everton's victory on Sunday. A bit more than the West Ham game over in Chicago, but progress. But yeah, great to meet you. Nice one for the super chat, mate. Danny Bryan says, going to have to make loads of new chants up for all these players.
True.
That's good.
True.
That's good. It's a good thing to have, isn't it? Ali, a big long load of letters, and Gaz, so I'm just going to call you Gaz, says, going to Hill Dickinson for the first time tomorrow with my son and daughter. I can't wait. Yeah, brilliant. It's fantastic, mate. And obviously every time we're in there, it'll feel a little bit more like home than the last time you were in there, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. For that building, mate, whatever your expectations are, it's going to be better.
No, it's amazing. It is amazing.
You get in there, it's unreal.
It is amazing.
It really is.
And it's, you look and just think it's ours. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Cal says we should break the bank, take the points deduction and go and buy Isaac for a laugh. I'm not convinced we could get him here, mate, in all fairness. I don't think he just wants out of Newcastle and that's it. I think he's chosen where he wants to go. But they're in a real corner, Newcastle. They let him go now, and they just lost a load of players last night through injury. That could go very messy very quickly. They'd be better off just saying, you're not going, mate, end off. We haven't got enough time to replace you. You're staying.
And they're having bids turned down by clubs as well, aren't they? So it's a real challenge there.
Yeah. Jake says, afternoon, lads. Baz, we've signed a right winger. We certainly have, mate. Steve P says, Baz, what I was talking about the other day, Grealish ability to put those balls across the 6-yard box. Yeah. It makes more sense having him on the left than Njai centrally, because he'll get much more assist than Njai would on the left. Most of Njai's goals last season were from central positions anyway. I don't think I'm going to be able to quit him, by the way. You can't quit Richarlison, so what now? It's Jack Grealish. It's early, Steve. It's early. But no, he was brilliant, facing the full back up and just roasting him. It was fantastic to see.
Very easy, didn't it?
It's quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a quality player. And me and Ped were saying on the final word, if you actually then get a left back in who goes beyond him, the amount of time he buys you because he's on here with the little reverse passing, you're into what City were built on with Guardiola. Get him round the back, roll it across and tap it in at the back post. Nathan says, I think we scare teams now. Grealish and Dibling taking it to the byline, and Jai weaving his magic. Dewsbury Hall keeping possession. Hopefully Irabunum can keep growing. Overall, looking positive. It is looking positive. Liam D says, what witchcraft is this? A team of quality attackers. I don't know what to do with myself. Be happy. Enjoy it. Tom says, sounds like Forrest are going back in for Bachwet. I know we have Dibling now, but surely we should be going for Bachwet or similar to. But that'd be real ambition, wouldn't it, to go and get another one as well and then move them about. But it all comes down to funds, doesn't it, and the plans. But it'd be amazing to get him or Fofana on top of what we've got. Imagine that. Seems unlikely, but it would be amazing. Buck says, great signing, a right winger at last with potential. Congratulations to Evertonian Tommy Fleetwood on his big money win on Sunday as well. He might be able to buy a seat from Seat Unique if there are any available.
Great day for him, wasn't it?
Not
$10
bad
million.
at all.
Wow.
Not bad at all. Gary Ward says, we got the right winger we were looking for. And Liam says, I have a feeling Moyes is happy to go with Jake and Garner as right-back options this season. I think he sees Garner as a must-start, and fitting him in at right-back might solve that. Either that or one of Grealish and Jai Dewsbury-Hall and Dibling won't start, which I find hard to believe. You can find hard to believe all you want, mate. The manager will do it. James Garner, I don't know whether Moyes sees him as a must-start, personally.
Yeah.
But we'll see. He's done well.
I also don't see him starting ahead of Mikalenko, for example.
No.
So.
And Everton are after a right-back, so I don't think he's going to go there.
The left-back's going to...
He might go there as a... He might give Moyes something to think about there. And go... But Everton are looking for a right-back.
But it's back around that squad view again, about different games, home and away, different teams were playing, who's the right person in the right position, all that sort of stuff.
Andrew says, fantastic results at the weekend, made up with the signing of Dibling. Unfortunately, the concourse on Club View is still terrible. You're essentially paying extra for less, as the privet concourse isn't built to deal with the amount of people who use it. We went to get a drink on the 35th minute, queued for 15 minutes and ended up missing Garner's goal because we were trying to finish our pints. A real disappointment that it's somehow worse than Goodison.
It's not a good feedback, is it? I think we're all finding our feet. Perhaps Club View's the one where people will say, well, we're a bit different because there's just the Club View people in it. So it's not like you can wander down from the north stand to have a look at the south stand and it all gets a bit more busy, sort of thing. They've just got their own concourse area. So, and they had some tech failure, I think, as well, didn't they? In and around the food and stuff like that. I thought upper southeast where we were was a little bit better than it was at Roma, but the same failings are there around delivery of, food and beverages, too slow. And it's a process thing. The person taking the order then goes off and gets the stuff. And so no orders, you know what I mean? So
that's staffing then?
Yeah. Well, there's lots of people.
Get a couple of runners.
Yeah, that's the point. There seems to be lots of people. I just think they've got the wrong process. So hopefully that'll get refined and stuff. And people will find out, if you want a toffee donut, go to the waterfront bar because that's where they are, rather than queuing up to find out you can't get them, in different ones. But again, mate, without, it's early days, but there is defo stuff there that should have been better than it was.
Club View, that's unacceptable.
It is, really. They're paying, £1,200, aren't they, for nice seats on the halfway line, and then the promise of a private concourse area and stuff like that. And I guess people are not quite seeing where the value is at the moment, but it'll get better, I'm sure. But if it's a capacity thing, which is what this chap's saying, the actual concourse area is too small by the sound of it. If he's right, for the number of people, then that's really difficult to fix, isn't it? Because
surely they've checked all this out.
They did extend.
You've got an architect who keeps getting pats on the back. If he's not done his job properly, then. But I'm not saying he had. I'm saying if that's an issue, because who else is?
But Club View sold out very quickly, didn't they, back in the day, and then they extended it. So who knows whether that's just tipped it over a little bit. Who knows?
Okay. I didn't realise they'd extended it.
Yeah, they extended it,
Then that's not to do with the architect, that's to do with logistics inside.
Supply and demand, isn't it? Demand was high.
Doesn't matter.
I know, but demand was high, but you've still got to get the customer experience right. And I think that's where the focus needs to be. I think, and I'm deliberately using the word customer. Yeah. The customer experience, in my experience, even for where I am, needs to be better.
I honestly couldn't. I've never seen that bit of concourse or anything.
Yeah. Because you're on the other side, aren't you?
But not below it.
Oh, sorry, you're on the lower.
I'm just on the lower bit, which is, my experience for Roma.
But you're in Village Street. Great. What about that?
The whole thing. But if that's built a one long thing, this is closed in, isn't it? Yeah, this Club View's far as I'm aware is boxed in. So I'm really interested to see if that's boxed in, why they thought they could extend it. That to me doesn't make sense, because if you put more people into an area that was designed for less, you're gonna have this.
I don't know if it's a...
So
sorry.
No, what I was going to say is, I wonder if is it an opportunity to put more e-bars in or things, you know what I mean? Extend the thing so that people spread out, or if what is it Andrew's saying? Are they just all packed in?
Yeah.
Because I find it difficult to believe it's worse than the Upper Bullens.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which, again, wasn't as wide as this room.
That's right.
And everyone went down at half time.
Not as wide as from me.
No, but what I mean, everyone went down at half time and queued up for the toilet and queued up for ale and were there, and it was packed like sardines. I'd be amazed if it's worse than that. But why is it? Because I have heard quite a few people not happy with what they're having so far. So that's Everton needs to address.
It's an interesting one because we've had feedback this morning, because we get it all the time, don't we? About Trinity Place, which is on the east side as well, I think.
Right.
Being poor, and the poor thing is all about congestion, how long it takes to get food and beverages, all those sorts of things. Good. And we all know at half time that if everyone bails out to get something, comes back again, you haven't got long. Now, you were in the West Stand in the village, weren't you?
But
how was that from a congestion point of view? Or did you didn't see any?
Busy.
Yeah.
It's busy.
Yeah.
Wasn't as bad. It's not as bad as where my season ticket is in the lower east. That congestion for Roma was ridiculous.
Mad. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But you don't know in these early parts whether or not people are
going to have a look,
or whether people are getting stuff they're not. I'll know tomorrow at Mansfield because it's going to be full, I think. So we'll see what my concourse is like.
Yeah.
If it's different, and then obviously I'll see it again at Villa. Is it slightly different than it was from that? We won't know probably till October what it's really going to be like when everything settles down. If this is going to be the new experience where people are just bevying and buying all sorts, no matter what the price of the food are, everyone's moaned about it but still doing it.
Yeah.
If that becomes their routine, then I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how the club fixes that, because other than, well, I don't know. Certainly for something like Club View, if something is an area that's boxed in, I don't know how you fix it.
That's the real issue one, because there's no fix to that, is there?
No.
I mean, level 2, which is where everyone can walk all the way around. Certainly, I'm in the upper southeast, which means literally the south stands 50 feet away if I turn right. It was less congestion, but only marginally, than it was for Roma. But we still have to our left the big open space where the Fanatics pop-up shop was, where if people can just migrate over there,
then they maybe need stewards to push people into those areas. Say, go and stand over there.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, mate.
Harry says, Baz, we finally signed a bloody right winger. In all seriousness, I'm absolutely buzzing we've signed him. Can he play on Wednesday? Yes, he can. And Everton have released him, video of him jogging out to training today with all gear on and Moyes coaching him and stuff. So, David Savage says, I know it's been a frustrating summer, but I always thought it was going to take time to get the players we needed. I think the team is looking really positive now, and if we could add a right back and a number 6, and if I'm greedy, another winger and striker, this will be the best window for a long time. Be incredible if they got all of those 4 in, wouldn't it? Yeah. David says, morning gents, thanks for the game day vlog. Ped, for all of us who couldn't be there, made us feel part of the historic event. James says, hi lads, any chance you can speak to the club about buying tickets off the resale platform? For me to be able to buy tickets off the club's site, I've had to spend money on memberships. Then when I go to buy a junior ticket for my lad, it's impossible. I've had to pay full price for my lad to go. There is no way on the site to select a junior ticket.
That's a bit
the
weird.
only way is if you're a member to get a junior ticket if you win one in the ballot.
Sounds weird. Really sounds weird.
Yeah, we can ask.
I'm guessing his lad is a member as well.
I don't know. We can ask.
Yeah.
James can ask about it. I've no sort of knowledge at all of the resale stuff.
Me neither. So.
But that doesn't sound good. John Sagar says, hi all, let's hope the lad can keep his head and deliver all that's been said of him. He's a good prospect, loads of potential, so it's about getting behind him and letting him develop. Barry says, if we draw Hadjuk split in Europe in the future, can we play them at Goodison to avoid the curse coming to Hill Dickinson? Better still, play them at Anfield. Yeah, we'll play them at Anfield. Derek says, ring the church bells throughout the land. We've signed a player who can play on the right with a bit of pace. Not an out-and-out winger, but it's a start. Now let's get a right back at 6 and another forward, and it'll be the best window since Lukaku, or even better. Could well be. Craig T says, hi guys, is August the new September? Winning and signing players where we need them is quite refreshing at this time of the year.
Love it.
Josh, afternoon, guys. What a Sunday that was. The noise before kick-off and when the goals went in was amazing. So loud. Blue Jay says, a win in August and a right winger signed. What is this, Everton? What is this happiness feeling that I have up the Toffees? Steve Guy, not being funny, but my understanding is that Dibling is very left-footed. He is. How come? He's now the right winger we needed. Not many crosses from the right coming in, which I thought would be a big plus. Genuinely not trying to be negative, but don't get it. Because he's a left-footed right winger, which most of them are.
Quite common.
Fofana plays on the other side and he cuts in. Grealish cuts in off the left, and Jai cuts in on the left. There's not many right wingers playing out there who go on the outside and put crosses
That
in.
Egyptian bloke, yeah.
Like a Salah, for Liverpool. They all do. Ahmad at United. It's just a new trend, isn't it? Saka at Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's the modern day way it is, Steve. Paul says, afternoon, lads and fellow Blues. Was nice bumping into Pep and Baz on Sunday. What a day. I enjoyed it from start to finish. The stadium is unbelievable.
It is.
Happy with our business so far this summer. Just hope there's a few more in over the next week. Do you know anything about the digital season ticket, as mine has disappeared on my Apple Wallet? I've messaged Everton fan services but not heard anything back.
They
Take it away,
will
John
be
Blaine.
swamped with everyone asking the
So
same
go on.
question.
Go on.
If you got an iPhone,
Yes.
after the game, your iPhone will have fundamentally archived it, right? So if you go into your wallet, which I shall do right now just to prove it, you go into your wallet, you look at the thing, and at the bottom it will say, view the expired passes. Your season ticket will be in there.
Yeah.
Just go into that expired passes bit, unhide it, right, and it'll come back to where you expect it to be. If you can't see the Mansfield stuff, then tick in the top right-hand corner where there's 3 little dots, click pass details, and if you haven't got automatic update switched on, switch it on, and if you have got it on, toggle it on and off, and if by magic it'll all be okay.
Mine's in my wallet for
Which
the
is
game.
what I did yesterday, and everything was fine.
Mine did expire as well, and Zach's did. Ours are back in for tomorrow night. Back in the
absolutely.
Jez says, praise the Lord, Baz has his right winger. I want another one.
One of them.
And so do we. So what do you think this will mean for our ideal formation? Also, went on Sunday, and inside of Hill Dickinson was totally shambolic, but we won our first, and it's a truly amazing stadium. In what way, Jez?
Yeah.
In what way? Was it shambolic? Which is a fantastic word, by the way. I'm not sure.
Very English word.
But I'd like to know why it was in your eyes. John's, what ideal formation? The way I can see, certainly at home, us playing Dewsbury Hall and Adrisha Garner-Gay as 2 midfielders. And Jai ahead of them. Jack Grealish on the left, Tyler Dibling on the right, and Tierno Barry through the middle. If there's going to be a slight variation on that, James Garner could come in and Jai would go to the right, and he'd have Alcaraz or Dewsbury Hall further forward if he's trying to give Dibling time. But I imagine on a lot of days he'll go with that, because that Dewsbury Hall, and it'll be open at times, of course it will. But Dewsbury Hall and Garner rat about and go and get the ball back. And obviously, if it's in Jai, you'll have to drop in and be an extra midfielder at times. But he has played there a lot of his career. So that is how I imagine it. If it's against like top level opposition, I imagine there'll be a more defensive midfield player in there, like James Garner, or Evan have been linked with Bissouma today at Spurs, been linked with him for a few days. In all fairness, he's one option. He would come in and sit in that midfield, and then who knows what he will do then. It's up to players to force their way into the team. I don't imagine anybody, maybe Jack Grealish, but in general, I don't imagine anybody's been promised anything by this manager. He will have said, you come here, you'll get a chance. It's up to you to keep the shirt. You play well, you'll be in. If you drop below a level, you'll be on the bench, and you've got to force your way back in. Exactly how football should be. And if we want Everton to be the team we want Everton to be, and the club we want Everton to be, we need that. That's what we need. No guarantees. For too long, we've had 11 players. which is why we've been where we've been. So, John says, afternoon, lads, went to game Sunday, which was great, apart from the fact that I had to park 1.5 miles away. Then walk round to the South Stand to see my plaque on Everton Way. From there, I had to walk round to Gate 2, as I'm in the northwest corner, level 2, row 58. I was expecting an escalator, but I had to climb hundreds of stairs to my seat. I nearly died. I'm 73. Could I use another gate where there is an escalator to get to level 2 and walk round, or would I be refused entry? It was actually worse going back to my car, but that's another story. So were you in the South Stand? Or you in the...
It's in the north. Level
said
2.
I'm in the northwest corner.
Level 2, though.
Of the South Stand?
No, the north stand.
Northwest corner level, okay.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, can I go in where the escalator is? Or
Apparently...
or where there's a lift?
Apparently not.
You can, I think. No, listen, because my mate, who doesn't want to do the same climbing up the stairs, John, he went through the process of getting the access.
Oh, so he has to get an access thing.
He has to get an access thing, and then you can go up in the lift.
Okay, so get yourself an access.
And I think the access
pass or whatever.
I'll stand corrected. John will message me if he's watching, but I think it's the access lift is might be in the south. I'm not sure, but it's probably in the east, so it wouldn't be too far to walk around.
Okay, there's a walk around for you, John. There you go.
You have to get like a wristband and stuff to be able to do that.
Jay says, the right side of the tracker, what is this witchcraft? We can probably say this has been a good window now, just got to fill the squad. Paul says, I think we've done well in the transfer market. We are going to get to watch some great football this season, onwards and upwards. It was great to be there on Sunday, especially with my daughter at her first Premier League match. Her face when the siren went off and the fireworks and the singing of Spirit of the Blues was priceless. Memories Everton have made that day. Well done.
Do you think that's part of the pre-match sing-along now? Spirit of the Blues and the Lars as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Can they keep it going in the game? That's the next test. Richard says, afternoon guys, I know this is Everton, but can we now start to believe we can actually look forward to the season made up with the Dibling signing? We should have been looking forward to it anyway. We still had good players. We just needed the balance. We've got a bit now. Mark Mack says, if we had options off the bench in the first Moyes period, we'd have won stuff. We would have. David Savage says, for too long, players are not good enough. Have held down a position even when playing badly because we didn't have the depth. Yeah, Chris Davis says, afternoon lads, I was in the South Stand on Sunday. It was magnificent. I felt like Diego Maradona leaning over the barrier watching his beloved Boca. Luke says stadium was everything you could hope it would be. Hopefully the Goodison curse is broken and we can weaponise Hill Dickinson. Was pleased with Barry. Thanks, mate. And Njai made himself an Everton icon. Still has more to do, but if he keeps going, he'll deserve that title regardless. Absolutely love the man. It seems now we have a penalty given against us every week, though.
But if you handball it, that's what happens, isn't it? Yeah.
Paul Davies says, can you believe it, Baz? We've signed a right winger. What a glorious time to be alive. I know. Nathan says, no chance, but is Kobe Minu a good midfield option if we could get him? Or should we be more looking at Florentino Luis or Hayden Hackney? Kobe Minu is very good, but depends what you want him to do. If we're talking number 6, no. Because he's another one who runs around the pitch and gets him. He's very good, don't get me wrong. He is very good and I'd love him, but is he what we need? Is this just getting a player who's good, or are we getting what we need? Florentino Luis would be better if you were saying you want a defensive midfielder. Yves Bissouma can do that job as well. Probably better than what Manu does, but Manu is a very, very good player. Manu, very, very good player. Derek says, where are they all going to play? Are you serious? Since the introduction of 5 subs, the days of a first 11 has gone. It's a first 16, as you need 5 to replace the players without a drop in performance.
True.
Correct, Derek. Absolutely correct. Peter Finn says, do you think we're going to sign Malik Fofana? I would sell McNeil to buy him. No idea, mate. I've no idea. Would love to, because then that really would just give Everton crazy options. Crazy options. But I've no idea. It seems unlikely, but it would be incredible if they did. Phil says if Michael Keane would have put the performance like Tarks, we'd have had. You said this, didn't you? The other day, I'm sure. We'd have had a complete meltdown. Got to say, Keane played very well on Sunday, but did have his usual rush into midfield, leaving a hole behind him. Luckily, not happened. No, Tarky did not have a good 45 minutes on Sunday at all. He got better second half. Michael Keane was excellent, to be fair. Mark has said, can the Vicar of Dibling play on Wednesday? He can. Brian says, how about having club call on Thursday? How about not, Brian? No, I don't know, Brian. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know. Busy week. DM says, who's going to be our number 8 this season? Are they saving it for a big last-minute deal? Might just keep the number 8 and say, no. Might sign Jamie Vardy and give it to him. Richard said we need players to be fighting for their place. No more mates starting week in, week out. Yeah. Ethan says, who's 3 right backs you'd like in the team if you could pick? I'd love Matty Cash. Not completely sure why, but I've got a soft spot for him. Thinking he's a solid player. He is good going forward. He's decent enough to take you up a level because we don't have someone who flies forward like that. I don't know, mate. I'd have to really think about it. I would have had Tatsuma, who's going to play against us at the weekend for Wolves. I would have had him. He's big and powerful. Don't know. I'd have to think about it. The lad from Barca who we got linked with looks like a good prospect. Would Moyes play him regularly? Don't know. I don't know. I'd have to have a think about it, mate. Ben says 2 things from me, lads, in regards to the game on Sunday. The lower south concourse is chaos, too busy and needs sorting, and the stadium being half empty at the start of the second half needs addressing. East and West End had no one in them. It's because the corporate people are all getting bevies all over. It's taking 15 minutes to get a drink. Then that's not acceptable either, is it?
No, not at all. And fortunately, I'm a whinging old git, right? And whenever we talk about this, I keep coming back to the architect saying empty seats is not a good look. And as soon as you have hospitality the way it is, you're always going to have empty seats. It's inevitable. Whether the service was spot on and it wouldn't make a blind bit of difference.
No, not really.
It's a lot of people, and some will meander back. So as an excuse for a too low a capacity stadium, in my opinion, empty seats was never going to fly, because there's always going to look like there's empty seats, and there's nothing we can do about it.
They also should have a bit like the theatre. So when the players are walking back out as well, though, you should have that stuff, but you should also have stuff like when the players are coming back out, they should be announcing it. So
Did they not announce it?
They don't announce it, and I know I've heard people who were in the Arch and something else were saying because other games were on.
You didn't even see it on the screen.
They didn't see them till it was about to kick off. So they must have had Sky on, or whoever was Sky, I think, wasn't it, showing the games?
Yeah.
So there was obviously other games being played. So like Crystal Palace Forest were at the same time, weren't they?
Right.
So I think they were saying that was on, like the half-time bit, and then it went back, and then Everton
Maybe
kicked
just
off.
fire the siren off again then?
Or just inside, or just say like, you know.
But just the siren will be heard, wouldn't it?
Complete performance begins in 2, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But I think like John's right. You see it at Wembley, don't you?
Yeah.
Any semi or cup final, then that back out, are they?
By the very nature of those, they're people who are there for the experience of the day. They might not be regular fans.
But even, I looked around though, and even there was like pockets at the back of the South Stand where people were coming back up. So if it's taking ages to get drinks, then that's an issue, isn't it? So we have got to, and hopefully the club will be addressing all this, and it'll get better.
No, I agree,
seamless.
because when I was telling you earlier on about my great nephew deciding quite late, the half-time thingy that he wanted a toffee donut, we had to go fight to the waterfront bar and then come back. I think we missed the first 45 seconds of the second half, for example, but we were in post for goals and things. But even so, I've never missed stuff. But then I always avoid going in the concourse series at half-time anyway, because it's always a maelstrom of activity, isn't it? So, but yeah, again, it is one of those things, and certainly the West End stuff is always going to be like that. You know, it is, and people are paying a lot of money, so you can't tell them, sorry, that's it, you've got to go back to your seat, because some of them won't want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because people, like you've just said, people are there saying, you know, I'm here for this occasion or whatever. Us as fans, we like to see everyone back in the seat, don't we? Because we're there. We're all there for the game, aren't we? So to speak. But I don't know. I think it's really difficult to sort of tell people what they should do, really. But it's you know, one of those things, isn't it? One of those things. Slow diver. Barry missed most of his aerial. We won 55% of his aerial duels, which is more than he lost. So your eyes have gone to say he won most. I thought he won more than that, but he still won more than he lost. And he had a few angled flick headers. He was absolutely brilliant and pivotal in Everton winning the game.
What did you say his percentage of win was just then? Sorry.
55%.
I thought
it was higher.
Won everything.
I'm shocked.
We weren't rounding, were we?
But,
enough.
But I am shocked. But I thought at the time, I remember him winning. He jumped a few dead early and got nowhere near them. And Duncan Van Heck headed them away. But when it was closer to him, he was winning stuff. And he headed two over that he should have scored. But his play, his hold-up play, his movement was excellent.
Cool.
Was and obviously he was pivotal for both goals, which is all that really matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you affect the game in some way. But yeah, 55% of his aerial duels he won. So I think we can work on that as well.
Yeah.
For giving them balls into the box, letting them attack things. But yeah, we'll see. As we go forward, he was excellent. Hopefully he can put it all together. Evan Viking, made up with Dibling, great signing, ticks all the boxes. Brighton games boss. Souček would ruin the positivity though. Emma says loads of tickets popped up for Villa yesterday, Baz, after the final word. Reckon the club have a Premier mole? Yeah, of course they do. Derek says I don't do sentimentality in football, but I sound out Spurs for Richie. As there's noises, they still want to offload him. I've watched the both Spurs games and he's on fire. Better than what we've got. Yeah, he's playing really well, isn't he? No, I wouldn't take Chilwell on loan. He's on about 200 grand a week.
Nah.
Not for me, Brad. Don't want Memphis to pie. Jake says strength in depth, no Europe and quality in the final third. Here we come. Conference, here we come. We'll see. Richard, yes, I think the fullback would be next. Mike, wow, did we get a right winger? As it's so obvious we needed the left winger. Jez says, I think at some point, you lot or maybe the Piv said games are now won with 15 or 16 players, which means squad depth is critical. It is. That's how you do it. You can't just go, we've got 11 players and I like them all, so I don't want any more. But we need some strength, some players on the bench. It's about, if we want to go to match and sort of be entertained and enjoy it, we have to. David Earl says about the stadium, will feedback make any difference? Well, it'll make more of a difference than not giving any feedback. Won't it?
Yeah.
And crying about it. Go and give it constructive feedback and say, this isn't good enough, this isn't good enough. They'd have to do some of it, wouldn't they? Vending machines for drinks, says Richard Jones. Yeah, why not? Says I'm not fortunate to go to many matches, but I never go and buy food and drinks at half time. I always watch the whole match. Yeah, that's fair play.
That's me too.
But some people do, don't they? Kev Maloney says they still had a few moments of having the ball in a positive position, and 8 seconds later we're passing it back to Pickford. Yeah, especially throw-ins does my head in when we throw it back to the halfway line. Steve Carlisle says, hi lads, John caught sight of my message to Everton for club viewers. We went in, your £10 voucher wouldn't register. Queues around the bars are a joke is the main problem. Not enough bars. Part of Aramark's promotion is they don't like queues. Can't use e-bars with your voucher. Talk initially of guys going around with beer packs. No bench seating. As John said, processes are currently crazy. Relatively easy to get some quick wins. Credit to the club where it's due, though we did receive a £20 voucher to use the Villa game. Yeah, I know that the Aramark meeting with the fans forum hasn't happened yet, but it is. John says, thanks to the reply, how, when and where do we get the access pass, John? Any clue?
No, if you DM us or something, I'll find out for you, mate. Yeah.
Jay Munty says they should definitely keep playing the Stone Roses. Mersey Paradise, they played it before the game. Make it a ritual. Anyone got any recommendations of where to park on Wednesday evening, says Callum. First time going the Hill Dickinson, more concerned about being secured than distance or price. There's a few sort of NCP ones in the city centre. If you had about a 20-25 minute walk.
Albert Dock, maybe?
Maybe there. There's a soccer bus. Depends where you're going. You could park at, it'd probably be expensive, like Liverpool Q Park, and there's a soccer bus that goes to the stadium. If you go on, I don't know whether it's the website, I think Everton give you a few car parks that are available, so maybe look at them. Jake says, Jared Michalenko and another few signs to come into this team too, by the way. Things are looking positive. Evan Viking says, as someone who also has club view, the £10 discount didn't work till after kick-off, so loads of people swerved it. I was lucky I got some food, which is nice aside from the warm Pepsi, but they are so slow. But also the position of where the food stall is on the concourse is awful, so it just packs everyone in like sardines. The stairs are genuinely going to be an issue for some people. I know the older lads and ladies around me struggled. I have some mobility issues that I have to manage with medication, so if I have a bad day, I'd have issues myself. But more concerned about the older fans who've had such a hard time. That's not good, is it?
No.
I don't know whether they can... I don't know. I mean, I don't know why is there not escalators in there?
Don't know.
I honestly don't
understand.
understand.
Everton first at Goodison.
I don't understand it.
Head gets an escalator.
I just don't understand it. If you go into a high part of the ground, why is there not escalators there?
I don't know, mate. And you can't retrofit, can you? So
yeah,
it is what it is now.
Surely they could retrofit it. It'd take time. It'd have to be probably... It's not going to happen in the season, is it? There's no chance.
Yeah, you can't... You'd have to put them somewhere where there's a floor at the moment. Yeah, it's hard work, I would have thought.
It's not good though, is it?
No. Lifts are probably easier to put in, but they're not mass transit, are they?
And then you get 20 people in. No, it's not good. It's not good. Blue Nose Netty says, what about a Samsung for the season tickets? Ours have disappeared and can't see tomorrow's on the app.
I'm sorry, but Androids, I don't do Androids, but I've got mates who've got Android, and it seems it's a bit more difficult because of the way.
Surely it'll all be sorted.
I'm sure it'll be available. But it's anxiety.
No.
Yeah, I think the club are well aware, so I'm sure there'll be some pronouncements if you're struggling. But it's something to do with NFC or something on Androids, I don't know.
Adam Doyle says, just on club view, my understanding was it's not meant to be excluded completely. According to the club website, it wouldn't have been separated by a wall or a barrier, but by stewards. When I was there on Sunday, the only unofficial way down was via a lift. Don't know.
So stay on whatever it is, whatever the level is, and then go down to club view. But that doesn't help you at half time, does it? Because you just...
James says, yes, both members, when they're trying to buy tickets, £100 for me and my lad to get the membership plus. When you select a seat on the resale platform, it's impossible to change it to anything other than an adult ticket. On the club's website, it says you're buying the ticket what it was originally sold as, but I've yet to find anything other than an adult ticket
well, that's
on
just
sale.
Suggests that the resale stuff is all from adults.
No concessions, child juniors go on the platform. Surely if you send your ticket back, you get a refund, and I should be able to select what type of ticket I want.
Yeah, but if nobody's giving back concession price tickets, then you can't buy them. I mean, the way it works is that the person selling the ticket gets the pro rata price they paid, which is a season ticket price, and then the person buying said ticket gets the retail price. Yeah, and so you'd have to find someone who's, age 11 and less, who's given their ticket back for you to get it, and I suspect there aren't huge volumes of those. So yeah, you're right, mate. You'll end up with always have to pay an adult price or a version of the adult price, because there's still the under 21 one, I think, isn't there? For your lad, yeah. Let's hope you're high up on the waiting list and you can get season tickets. And,
yeah, but don't think there's a press conference for. I don't think they don't have to do them for the Carabao Cup.
They don't have to. They won't.
So I don't think they'll only do them when they, especially Moyes, he'll only do it when he has to.
Yeah.
Richard says maybe it's time to get staff coming round during the match selling hot dogs, etc., like the old days. Jake Ablett says, by the way, £6.50 donuts aren't going anywhere anytime soon. They were selling like crazy. Yeah. I just point blank refuse to pay that much for a donut, even if I want one. Yeah. Scandalous. Blue Nose Nettie says, new ground and the game is amazing on Sunday. I hate to moan, but our experience of the food and drink outlets is absolutely awful. At both Roma and Sunday, they literally couldn't run a piss up in a brewery. No water, tea, alcohol left in the lower north near family enclosure an hour before the game.
That's mad.
The queues were a joke too, and the same at half time. Do you know who I email to complain? Fan services, EFC fan services at evertonfc.com or something it'll be. Just got to keep putting your things in. It's got to be sorted.
Or contact the fans forum, who will collate all this anyway for when they have their Aramark meeting, won't they?
Jake says, I have to say my thoughts every time I've been on the concourse is why they haven't been designed to be bigger. It's like sardines in the upper south every game I've been to. Jez says the upper north concourse was utter garbage. Systems and process and signage is terrible. I would certainly not be trying it again for a long time. The biggest concern beyond first impressions issue is that there seems to be nobody there to manage anything, and God only knows how they'll work out what the problems actually are. They'll just see revenue dropping off rapidly. Yeah, I mean...
Every time I go past a concession, there's a big queue of people buying stuff. So I don't think revenues are going to drop off.
I think they might do over time. I still think it's very new at the moment. There's enough things outside. There's enough when you're walking in. Bars everywhere. So, and obviously we walk through town, there's loads of people eating.
Oh,
there.
Absolutely.
So that revenue will just go there. I wouldn't pay £6.50 for a donut, not a chance. Well, not a single
neither would I, but the 10-year-old wanted one. So
well, my 14-year-old will want one, but he'll be told every time, no.
Use your own money.
I'll take you to Costco and get 5 for £1.
Ped.
James, just put my mic up. It's just not a very pleasant experience.
No, it's not.
Forget buying stuff. It wasn't a pleasant experience underneath. Like, I'm not moaning, I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pleasant experience. It was really, really hot in the stadium, forcing people to get drinks, massive queues. When people got to the front of the queues, then they were told that the things they wanted weren't available.
Which we experienced at Roma, wasn't it? Same thing.
So there are things that need to be done. And again, this is not moaning, this is feedback. There's a big opportunity, I think, on the east stand certainly in the second level, for people to go and stand. I think if Everton could create a little bit more of a place where people feel like they can stand and put their pint up, put the food down, or even put a couple of chairs there.
Yeah.
I think more people would go there. But there has to be stuff around there. So the shop's there, but there was a big queue for the shop as well, the walk-through one. There has to be signage. You've got digital signage. Can you use it? Can it be used to tell people what's available at that bar, to stop people queuing at that bar, so people can get what they want quicker, that actually is available? Everyone, like you just said, John, is going to the south. That somehow has to be curtailed. Now, of course, you can't corral people, but you've got to give them other opportunities. And I think that space on the east stand is a huge opportunity, because there's so much space there.
Space where there's a shop was.
Massive space. There's it's like it looks over to the plaza. So okay, it's not the window like on the south, but you can see out, and there's air coming in, and we have to somehow try and get people to go there rather than the south. The south is, quite frankly, ridiculous. Baz was saying there about people queuing for drinks. They were queuing to go to the toilet for 15 minutes. The men's toilets, which I know has meant that men are now using the women's toilets, which has a knock-on effect for people feeling safe in the women's toilets.
Yeah.
I know this firsthand. So all this stuff has to be looked at. But and also, like Baz said before, there was a system at Goodison where you would order your food, and so you would have a runner to go and get your food or your drink. Here we have the person leaving their station, and it slows everything down because everybody then is serving and then running around, and I notice food being knocked over onto the floor, and of course that means that you've got to pick that food up for hygiene, and that means the flow, more people standing around doing nothing. The way they're doing things isn't correct, and I think that has to change. And I think they've got enough experience in the first couple of games to know that. Honestly, there's loads of space, but it's not being used. So let's find ways. You've just mentioned there, we saw it in Germany. Why not have a guy who goes round with a beer dispenser on his back? Putting,
stand in that open space.
Stand in that open space. Yeah. He goes over. He has a tap machine. Someone mentioned it before, and I said it at the weekend. Good old-fashioned vending machines. The only issue with the vending machines which is the bottle tops. That's literally, for me, the only reason why he wouldn't have a vending machine is a bottle top. But come on, let's be adults about this and start giving people a little bit. But why not have vending machines dotted around the ground? If you're hot and you just want a bottle of water or a bottle of Pepsi, we've just signed a massive deal with Pepsi. Put vending machines all around the concourses. That would stop the queues. That would easily stop the queues. And I know it's an old-fashioned thing, but you can pay with your card on them, and you can get a bottle of Pepsi, and away you go. And that to me is such a simple, old-fashioned idea that still very much works. Very much still works in society. So there are many things that need to be sorted, but genuinely though, I don't like it down there. I don't like it. It's off-putting going down. I went down at half-time, looked at the queue for the men's toilet, and was just like, I'm not going to get back in time. And loads of people didn't. And the other knock-on effect, this is the last thing I'll say now, the other knock-on effect is people are going down at half-time earlier.
Oh, very much earlier.
And they're coming back later.
Yeah.
And visually it doesn't look good. People are blocking the views of people. And also that means people are missing the game. Someone just said they missed Garner's goal. That shouldn't be a thing. That needs to be sorted out before.
There was a steady stream coming out the southeast from the 38th minute, and that was before the added time was added on. So that's because people anticipate how hard it is down there.
So how do we sort of combat that then?
It'd have to be systems, wouldn't it?
Toilet. Are you saying there's not enough toilets?
There's not enough toilets. I'm telling you that right now. There is not enough toilets, and the signage is terrible on the toilets.
It's difficult to tell.
One thing I would say is people need to get familiar of where the toilets are, of course.
Yes.
When I was in the Gladys Street, there was loads of little sneaky toilets. There was the one at the back.
Are you talking about where the bar is on that level on the, 2 for you?
Yeah.
It's okay.
So it's people. I walked down with there was about 10. It was about 5 minutes at half time, and the queue was at least a 5 to 10 minute queue. Right. And I was like, I don't need to go that much, so I left it.
Yeah.
And that meant people were coming back 10, 15 minutes after the kickoff had started.
Yeah.
So there has to be better signage, people instructing people being down there telling you where to go. These are all things that can be fixed. I'm sure they can be fixed, but it's really important that people don't bury their heads in the sand and just go, we as a fan base will sort it out ourselves.
Can I James Wallen's just said, this isn't what you were saying about the vending machines.
Yeah.
In the 3-pass, the bottles have got the tops on. You just take them.
Fair enough. There you go then. Yeah. So that saves it. So why not? Honestly, we queued for 5 minutes or so, and all I wanted was a 7-Up. And
cold.
And all my missus, which it wasn't. It wasn't cold. Because they weren't putting ice in it. Because they wanted you in and out, and I appreciate that. They're all young kids. They don't know. The girl kept on apologising to me. I was going, it's not your fault. You don't have to apologise. But yeah, honestly, vending machines. Why would we wouldn't get a queue for a vending machine? We just walk over and go, want a bottle of Coke.
They could do like it.
It's
I
so
don't
easy.
know, but they might be able to do a few, mightn't they? Well, distribute.
Imagine if you put a vending 2 vending machines next to every e-bar. There's plenty. There's so much wall space.
Is the space
On the east, upper east.
Okay.
Anyone who's there will tell you how much space there is. There's loads of space because there's nothing there. It's just standing area, but there's no bars either. There's just the E-bars and the walk-through. So honestly, vending machines could cut down so much of the drinking. And get more E-bars in as well. Get as many E-bars as you can fit into that ground. And keep people who just want a bevy out the queues, because it would and get also, and this is the other thing I'd say to Everton is, get bars that are just for alcohol.
Yeah.
Split the food from the alcohol. Okay, if people want both, I understand you can go, yeah, you can get it. But if you just want a bevy, let people go. And listen, someone might come back to me and tell me, there's already, but what I'm listening to you talk about this, and what I'm hearing is about the tickets and about the food and about the ground is we're not being relayed any of this information. The guy there talking about his lad, that's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous that Everton haven't done an explainer on the new ticket systems. They just literally put it out into the ether and went, go ahead, everyone, sort this out yourselves. That's ridiculous. It's a whole new experience for everybody. And I find that quite poor from the football club. And don't get me wrong, they've done a lot of things right and they're using us and stuff. Feed the information into us and we'll try and get it out. I find it really disappointing that people still don't know what is going on. I find it disappointing that you've just had to explain, John, about why your season ticket. My missus yesterday was dead anxious about it.
Yeah.
The season ticket's
Mate,
not in
I
the...
wasn't until someone on Twitter told me what it was.
I've got an Android and mine still says the Brighton game.
Yeah, that's what most...
I'm not a panicker, so I'm sure it'll refresh.
Yeah.
But loads of people are panickers and loads of people are like, is it coming through the post? Is it going to come to my phone? Like, there was a little message that we retweeted yesterday from fan services. I think Everton now and again have got to start using their major accounts, or certainly, and I'm sure they have retweeted on their major accounts. But I think now and I think in this time where there's so much confusion over what's going on, I think Everton have to start getting the message out. Put a YouTube video out, put an Instagram video out, put a TikTok video out, explaining a few of these things. Use us, use other people, influencers, use whoever, Julia, Sarah, whoever.
Out, yeah.
Just get the message out. So, and you know what? Once the message is in the fan base, then if you haven't heard it, your mate might have heard it.
It spreads out. Then.
And it spreads itself. But I think there's so much at the moment that people are so confused about. And I think it's just be so much easier. But as I said, in the ground, little wins, beer-only bars, beer-only kiosks, soft drinks out of vending machines. It's common sense for me, that kind of thing. You go to like theme parks, they still have vending machines.
Of course.
You go to lots of places, they still have vending machines. You go to like train stations or whatever, they still have vending machines. Large places still used. Just go to Pepsi and say, if you've got we've got 5 or 6 vending machines.
Vending machines would empty in 15 minutes. And then you'd have to restock.
Yeah, keep restocking them.
So there's a little bit of process needed.
Yeah.
But it all helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get 45 minutes to replenish everything, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
For half time.
And you know what? One thing, this last thing. Where we were queuing
more.
But this is a positive. Where we were queuing up at the chicken thing, and there was loads of chicken and chips and Pepsi. There was loads of food. Just sitting there under the heat lamps. Loads of food. Everyone wanted drinks.
When I went with my great nephew, what they had on the hot shelves, said to Baz, was lots and lots of the pepper ones.
Yeah.
And none of the...
But there was loads of food.
They'll learn all that.
No issue with food. But it was the drinks, because it was so warm.
Yeah.
The sweat was dripping off people inside the stadium, so everyone wanted a drink and no one could get one. No Pepsi left. That's good, isn't it?
It's popular.
Right. We're back.
Baz was in the West Stand in the posh
Just
seats,
a couple of people who that you bought. Yeah. Just a couple of people who remember YouTube. Yeah, I was outvoted. I'm moaning about the fact that people are talking about. We are here to discuss people's points.
Yes, indeed.
I've seen one from Semi-Charm Life saying Everton have been amazing and all you've done is talk for an hour of moan about the stadium. That's utter nonsense.
It is.
Absolute nonsense. The first 50 minutes are spent talking about Tyler Dibling and how exciting Jack Grealish is and what a win. So I don't know where you've come up with that from. But if people are asking questions or putting their points across, this is what this is for, so we're going to discuss it. We want Everton to be the very best it can be. Everton got so much right on Sunday. The pre-match stuff, coming out, the noise, the fireworks, it was brilliant. What they did was brilliant, and he built on top of it. Now, we're looking at other ways to just make the other bits brilliant as well. The team, the players we're bringing in, it's fantastic. It's exciting. There'll be more coming in as well this week. That team on Sunday did a great job. Wasn't perfect by any stretch. We won the game. Tyler Dibling, exciting signing to go with Grealish, who's an exciting signing. Dewsbury Hall, Tierno Barry. It's all really positive and it's great. And there'll be more of it. We want more of it. But if people are bringing genuine issues to us, we're going to discuss it. It's people's opportunity to put their point across. We're going to discuss it. And hopefully, and we know that people watching the club, hopefully, the club will be on to our mark to try to make things better, because then if they make those things better, we've all come together as a fan base, haven't we? As a community, to get what we're experiencing to be better. That's what it matters. That's all that matters. There's plenty of football chat. We do it all the time. It's exciting. It's a great win. We done it yesterday. It's a brilliant win. Brilliant signing, Tyler Dibling. We want more.
And it's a brilliant stadium.
We want more. The stadium's unbelievable. When you're in your seat, it's incredible. Walking up to it, it's incredible. We just want the other bits inside to be equally as incredible. And then everyone will just marvel in it. When you're in that seat, the noise and everything, it's sensational. There's lots of jealous eyes.
Yeah.
There is lots of jealous eyes. That's what we're saying. That's all we're saying. It's amazing. We opened the show with Tyler Dibling.
Yeah.
Signings, who else we wanted, what formation we'll play, how good a job they did at the weekend, what he can bring. We did all of that.
Also, Everton are...
questions.
Sorry, Baz. Everton sending out apologies to people, so they're very aware that there are issues, and that feedback got back to them.
That's good.
So that's good. That's they have realised that there is issues, and that's
better than Roma, and it'd be better.
It's important that everything just gets fed back to them all the time, so we can make it better. But I guarantee people who are in the South Stand don't want that experience, or anyone coming around. They want it to be better. So let's all. I'm saying here, if you're in the South Stand and you don't like it, go to the East. Loads of space, because that's what I'll be doing from now on. I'll just go round to the East where it's nice.
You know, sorry, we don't want to do this to death, but if you encourage people on the South Stand to go to the East, they'll have to go through where all the congestion is in the upper South East, which is where the concessions are, and you'll make it worse.
No, but if people just go into the ground and go straight to the East and go there, then that's good, isn't it?
So I do wonder whether the idea you had after the Roma game of being able to go in any gate you wanted,
well,
that would help congestion as well. Anyway. This is positive feedback, not negative.
No, it's to make it's ultimately just to make it even better, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's
just about it's just to make it better. But you know, the other side is back on the football side. Sunday was really good. We did give them too many opportunities. We caused our own issues.
Could have been in a mess, couldn't we?
But we did beat what I consider to be a very, very good side. If they had a centre forward, they'd do a lot of damage, I think. We rode our luck a little bit, and we needed our goalie to stand up and do his job, which is exactly what he did do. Done it brilliantly, and we got our rewards. Now tomorrow night, it will be another opportunity to build on Sunday, you know. And then if you go and we should go and beat Mansfield, then all of a sudden you've opened up 2 competitive games at your new ground. You've won both of them. People will come in, have a good experience, big crowds, and you go away thinking, it's all right, this new place, isn't it? You start feeling comfortable in your environment, and you're building that winning feeling. We want to keep this feeling now. We were all down a week ago. We were devastated after that Leeds game. You know, it was one of those nights. We didn't play well in the first half, and we should have been 0-0 really. I don't think either team looked like they had a goal in them. Yeah. We lost it. We were all on the floor. And then we've produced on Sunday when we needed it to. We bought a player. That's what's
absolutely,
really...
and we've got that feel-good factor, haven't we, right now? And the glow of a win and all those sorts of things. But I'm with Ped, by the way, because I think he did it on maybe his vlog or wherever he did it. I think we're going to make this feel like home a lot quicker than any of us ever thought. Right, there's still branding to be done, but the fans will find their way around. The South Stand can make one hell of a din when it wants to, and it, and bring that with, as you just said, we've won a game, we beat Mansfield, and then it'll be, well, bring on Villa then, come on, and before you know it, we're thinking this place is brilliant.
No,
and it's full every game type of thing.
You can't, no matter what, you look at those images on Sunday, and you just like, when that blue smoke went up from the fireworks and people have got the flags and the noise, you were just like, oh my God, like this was a drawing and then a vision.
Yeah.
And I'm stood here, and it's amazing. And that was a privilege to be stood there, to hear Z-Cars, to hear the siren, to see them walk out. What I found mad was Tarkovsky going to the right. You know what I mean? As to his right, because at Goodison, they always went to the left.
That's right.
Little things like that, which is like a new thing of like, that's the home end now, where then you see the players come on. But all of the things of, we were obviously lucky enough, we were in there twice last week doing a bit about the E-bars and that, and then we were in the next day doing the preview. That built on top of being in there for Roma. I'd obviously done the documentary in May or whatever it was, and then going in there on Sunday, all of a sudden it just feels comfortable. Oh yeah, this is our place. But seeing the team play there, by tomorrow night, most of us were in again, and we're going the third time you've seen the first team play there. It'll feel even more like home. Be amazing for all of those people who've got the opportunity to walk in there tomorrow for the first time and just be like, oh my God. And it's obviously all of our first time under the lights tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah.
Another special occasion. And if Everton can win the game, which they should, I don't think I'm talking out of bloody...
No.
Everton should really batter them, really, if you're talking about levels. But if Everton win the game, and then we all come away from it going, won another one.
Yeah.
We'll be bouncing to Wolves at the weekend. They're not in any great shape at the minute. They've had a poor start. Can we go and get a result there? And then you're in that international break going, Leeds was a nightmare, but we haven't half recovered well.
Yeah.
And that's what David Moyes will be looking at, and it'll be great. And I know lots of people have been looking at all sorts of videos and everything that have gone out from Sunday, Ped's vlog, everything, lots of comments on the match reaction stuff, and then other things that have been up their little things of the day that you see popping up on Instagram and that. And it's great when you look and you go, wow, this is unbelievable, this is us now. And there will be people there, no matter what, no matter how bitter the bitters are, or other people like, Geordies who think they've got some faux rivalry with us. People who sat down on Sunday to watch the game and then see them images, the drone, when it was outside as the fireworks were going off, and that stadium inside, will have been looking and going, wow. Like, wow, you would have had to say wow. And if you don't say wow, just on those images of the river, the stadium, the fireworks, the sun, the blue, the flat, if you didn't sort of go, that looks good.
And the images are going to be repeated at night.
Of course.
At night, I mean.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. Listen, this is what, and me and Ped have done. All of us have done it as all the way through this process. I said to James last week, we were in there for doing the E-bar stuff and all that, and then we went up and we got to see the lounges, the images. And I said to, walking through and looking at the lounges and all that, and I was saying to James and a couple of other people, the other person who's with us, was like, this is so weird that we saw this in the Liver building as a concept.
Yes.
And here it is in front of my eyes. And then that's the same for the stadium. But all of the times that we spoke about, well, we could have had the ground built quicker with 70,000. It just would have been on the East Lancs Road. Now, okay, might have still been a nice stadium, big stadium, 65, 70,000 seats.
Location.
But when you saw those images next to the river, and I know another thing, and this is a little bit, probably a bit petty of me, and a little bit, not bitter, but a bit,
Buzz alert. Yeah.
Walking back in to town on Sunday, having just won the game, seeing blue shirts everywhere, sat outside the bars having a bevy.
Yeah.
some Everton songs getting sung everywhere you looked. It was a sea of blue in our city centre. I'll be honest, it did give me a nice warm feeling. And
I
was
loved
just
it in the traffic. Yeah.
Wow.
I loved it in the traffic because we drove back along the Strand that way.
Yeah.
And you're right, blue shirts everywhere.
Just there.
Told
It
you
was
it's
incredible.
Baz.
And listen,
Told
there'll be days when we've got our hoods on it,
Well,
freezing and
come
we're
winter,
shivering and
yeah,
all
come
that.
winter.
You get that. But that was just going to go. That vision has been played out in front of our eyes. It's there. It's real. And we had an exciting team to watch. Can it be better? Of course it can. Of course it can get much better. But we still had those lovely moments. We still got to watch Jack Grealish. We watched Illiman and Jai going around 4 or 5 men, knocking it in the net. Pickford saving a penalty, and then that song going all around the stadium. 50,000 people while he's giving it all. Listen, we're winning. Just absolutely tremendous. And
the stuff about where the areas of improvement are, which they're all tweaks.
yeah,
The fundamentals are all there, and they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. And Everton, go buy the bloody machine so we can have big tifos, you know? And we talked about that a few years ago. Go and do it. Just do it ASAP and let the 1878s be designing tifos rather than putting out flags. Be much better.
yeah.
Personal view, yeah.
Cynicus. What else can you do when someone asks you for one? You can't say no, can you? You look like an even worse snob. Just seen something there. Oh, James Fadley said, "Hey lads, the weekend was amazing looking. I can't wait to visit. Envy to the rest of the league. I tip my hat to all involved in this stadium project. You did a great job." We have heard about the Kobe May new rumours, but my new room, but I don't see it. But who knows? I mean, he hasn't even got on. Has he not even got on the pitch yet? I've seen a United fan say he hasn't even had a minute, which it's weird, isn't it? I don't know where'd he play him, but there is a weird one because he looked like he was going to be the next big thing for them, and he's fell off, hasn't he? They've done that with a few of theirs, though, haven't they?
It's when managers change, yeah. Some things happen, don't they?
Yeah, it's
Out
odd.
of his formation, he doesn't really play like a sort of proper midfielder, especially with Bruno.
Yeah.
So they have to play like Casemiro or like Agate.
They have to have someone who sits because he doesn't sit, and that's going to let him down.
Anything though.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting anyway for us, obviously. Mansfield tomorrow. More players being linked, Everton after more players. Exciting times. But great win the weekend. And
just a quickie.
on to tomorrow. Go on.
The wonders of our fan base. Apparently, the accessible lift entrance is 21.
Number 21.
Yeah, so if you visualise where 21 is, but you still need the wristband thing to be able to get in that gate.
That's at the right, is it, of the shop?
Yeah, to the right of the shop, I would say,
Yeah.
based on where our entrance is. Yeah, which is to the left of the shop. So get onto fan services, get yourself
On the list.
whatever
or
the
whatever
the
do,
list
yeah.
is. You get the wristband, you just go up the gate because you got the wristband. They'll let you in, and you go up in the lift. Yeah. Let us know how you get on. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Fab.
Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll have a Tyler Dibling video out this afternoon sometime, so make sure you check that out. Like, subscribe, and if you're a Toffee TV Premier member, we'll see you later. Take it easy. Bye.
Take care.